Hi, Abraham. I had a dream that I'd actually be sat on stage with you this evening.
You know what that means? Do you realize that your dreams are a vibrational match to what's going on also? In other words, what you think and how you feel and what manifests always match vibrationally. Were we very wise in your dream?
As always. No, it's lovely to meet you in real this life as well. I've got a bipolar disorder. Actually, I was told not to say that. I experienced the symptoms of bipolar disorder.
Well, do you know what that is? All that is an exaggeration of the emotional scale. And think about what it really means. It means that when you really know what you don't want, so you really know what you do want, you've created for yourself a broader spread. In other words, if someone you did not know called you on the telephone and said, "Hello, you don't know me, I'm just calling to tell you I will never call you again," you would say, "All right." That would be all right. But if someone you really care about tells you that, then you have a different response, and a different desire would be born out of it. And so when you have been given by someone else or yourself an extreme label like that, we would take it as a powerful compliment, because it means you hit the ground running, you've been mixing up life in a very powerful way, and lots that you have been living has caused you to become something that your current in the moment of that strong negative emotion thought isn't allowing you to be. In other words, there is no regression, there's no going back. Once you've tasted the sweetness of who you are, you can't bear not being there.
That's true.
You see. You get the sense of it? Do you understand that? Can you feel
Very
that?
much so, yeah.
And so rather than saying, doesn't matter what you say because words don't matter anyway, but words sometimes do reflect some of what you're feeling. But rather than saying, I have bipolar disorder or I have any disorder, say, I am a powerful wanter. And I wouldn't give that up for anything. And when I'm a powerful wanter and I'm in alignment with it, do I ever soar? And when I'm a powerful wanter and I'm not in alignment with it, boy, do I ever plummet. That's the description of what that is, you see. And others may say, well, I'm more reserved. I contain myself better. And then you may accurately say, then you must not want anywhere near to the degree that I do. Or you could say, then you may be managing your gap a little better than I am. But in either case, you're now empowered to know what to do about it, you see. We would far rather see someone with this label that you have given yourself, with this spread where sometimes you're here and sometimes you're not, than someone who limply wants. Powerful wanting is the only place that powerful joy can come from, you see. It's just you want to manage it on a day-to-day basis. And doing it in advance is the easiest way. Don't try to manage it when you're in one of your dips. Just let law of attraction have its way with you.
I think that's what I do,
when you are feeling sort of good, then lean downstream. And when you are feeling really good, acknowledge that you are. And make it a habit to look for reasons to feel good. And whenever someone expresses to us any sort of disorder that's extreme like that, we always want to say that what is at the basis of it is fast-moving energy and not a conscious awareness of where you are in relationship with it. But now you know that, it doesn't ever have to be that way for you again. But should you find yourself in one of your down spiraling episodes, don't beat up on yourself. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. And actually have fun in the improvement.
Yeah.
Also, we want to say that there's something very interesting about it, because it almost sounds like your experience defies something that we just said. So we want to explain that. We talked about the end of the emotional scale where love and appreciation and joy are, and the feeling, the perception of empowerment, and on the other end is despair. And we talked about how you can't jump from one to the other.
I can.
We want to talk about that. We want to talk about why you have made a liar of us.
Yeah. Oh, Abraham.
And it's because you have incredible power of focus.
Right.
In other words, sort of tunnel vision. You heard us say earlier that when you beat the drum of something, when you give your attention to it, you activate a vibration, and law of attraction brings you more of it. The longer you do it, the stronger it gets, until you have a very powerful vibration. What that means is you've practiced often this vibration, and you've practiced often this vibration. But the fact that you're making that jump so quickly means that when you focus, you really focus. In other words, you tunnel in on something. It's sort of like a dog getting hold of a bone that is not going to let go of it no matter what. That's what you're doing. And we want to say to you that focusing is a good thing if it feels good, but focusing is not a good thing if it feels bad. And when you find yourself taking those first steps toward that uncomfortable direction, say to yourself, I am a powerful focuser, and I can stop right now and turn the other way, or I can carry this out as I'm used to doing. And do you know, as we feel you and others who have this same experience, we can tell you quite easily that what is at the heart of this, what makes you dig in and focus so powerfully, is that you've been challenged by those close to you early on in your life about the rightness of something. In other words, you're like so many people, only more exaggerated. You'd rather be right than feel good. And so a sort of determination to continue to point out that you are right. And you know you are right, because when you're feeling bad, you're not making it up. There is something that you're looking at that is some injustice that has your attention, so you are right. But you don't have to challenge the rightness of it, because law of attraction makes cancer right. Law of attraction will give you the evidence of whatever you give your attention to. So just stop in the middle of it sometime and just softly ask yourself, would I rather feel good or would I rather be right? And all of you want to be right, because you've been measured and challenged and compared with one another. As Jerry and Esther drive their big monster bus around, quite often Esther will argue with Jerry a little bit about something that they're about to do. She wants to hook the tow car on when there's plenty of space to hook it on. She wants to be sure that there's nice clear space to get out, because it's quick turning, and when the car is hooked onto the back of the monster bus, you can't back it up, so you've got to go only forward. And Jerry seems to like the challenge. In other words, if there's an inch to spare, he's happy. And Esther does most of the driving, so he hooks it up while she's still sleeping, and she gets behind the wheel, and he'll say, I think you can probably maybe make it out of here. In other words, I stepped it off, he'll say, and there is an inch to spare. And Esther thinks, why can't we just get out there where we're sure that we can get out? But Jerry sort of likes the drama of it all. And so Esther will walk back, and she will assist him in the final checking of the automobile. And as she's walking forward to get behind the driver's seat, she catches herself, she's laughed about it a few times, as she says, I hope we can't get out of here. I hope we have to unhook. Because she would rather be right about this than feel good. And then she laughs about it, because there is no one in her life that is challenging her or comparing her any longer, but there's still residue of it from before. In other words, you want to be right, but we want you to understand that the universe is not yielding to you in terms of your rightness or wrongness. The only rightness or wrongness has to do with your lining up with the source or not, you see. People sometimes worry about that. They think that what we're saying, they worry that we teach people that they create their own reality, because they worry that there are bad people out there that might be joyfully creating a negative reality that would negatively impact others. And we say it could never happen, because you came forth as pure positive energy. There's not a source of evil, and there's not a source of badness, even any more than there's a source of darkness. You don't walk into a room and look for a dark switch. You don't expect to flip a switch and make inky, misty darkness cover up the light. You know that there's a source of light which can be resisted. And so we want you to understand that there is not something lurking. There's not something calling you to a darker place. There's just a habit of thought that prevents you from being who you are. And the more you prevent yourself from being who you are, the more you don't like it. That's all it is. You can break this cycle, and you can break it immediately, but you don't have to break it immediately. You can break it anytime you want. Just lean slightly in the direction of relief and watch how quickly that dissipates. And one day, not long from now, you'll say, I used to have this experience, but I can't remember the last time I had it. I lurk over here in the range of feeling really good to sometimes frustration, really good to sometimes frustration, and I rarely dip into anything lower than that. And when I do, I've got darn good reason for it, and I know what to do about it. And it is so helpful when you finally get it, that when you feel negative emotion, it's about your gap and your powerful perspective, not about what somebody else is doing. And when you understand that, people see things that they want and they say, oh, that's lovely, I want that, I will vote for that, I want more things like that, but that is awful. And then they say to those awful beers, if you would be nice, if you'd be more like that, then I could feel better. Because most people are accustomed to just observing and then responding to what they're observing. But when you get it, that you have the ability to observe where you want to observe, when you get it, that you can't control what they do, and that makes you feel powerless, when you give up your need to control what they do, then you understand what unconditional love really is. It's, I can stay tuned into who I am regardless of what you do, because I don't have to look at you, or I don't have to look at that aspect of you. I can use my powerful focusing mechanism to focus in places that feel good rather than in places that are reality. In other words, it's a lessening of your grip on reality, and that's been drummed into you so hard for so long. Gotta face reality, gotta tell it like it is, gotta be real, don't make it up, don't tell lies. And we say, focus upon what feels good to you and be true to who you really are. This is the truth that you're wanting resonance with. There's a lot of truth going on out there that you don't want anything to do with. People make it true by focusing upon it and beating the drum of it. Your statistics are full of people who focused upon different aspects of life and made an art form of it until law of attraction made them the evidence of it, you see. But their reality has nothing to do with your reality. We gave you a lot. You got every bit of it, didn't you?
I did. That's wonderful.
Very good.